company.
Whoa, they're spicy today. Hey, can we stop for some burgers? I'm getting hungry. We can still hold a rally today, right?
I didn't sign up for this.
Iran was behind 2 assassination attempts on the president. I guess this sort of like dovetails into what Eric and Don were talking about. Well, let's get into it. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu claims in bombshell interview, Netanyahu on Trump assassinations, saying that Iran was funding them. Now, okay, Israel is technically like at war with Iran right now. They're bombing each other to smithereens. It is bad. We openly and regularly explain what we believe in these style of conflicts, which is that 77 million people voted for America First. America First means putting Marines on the ground in the sand of Los Angeles to protect my country. That's why I fund the Marines. That's why I pay my taxes. I want American troops defending America and our borders and our interests. I do not need them defending the interests or borders of countries thousands of miles away. Okay, so that's my take. Now, whether that's Gaza or Iran or Ukraine or Somalia or wherever, right? That's our hard line. This is what we like firmly believe, and it's what America believes. In fact, and this is why we voted for that. We voted. It was the popular vote said mass deportations and ruthlessly putting down foreign insurrections in our country, which is what the president has done. I believe in nations' rights to defend themselves. I also believe that like there are things that are fundamentally none of our business, that we don't have to be the world's police. So I'm not trying to piss anyone off. I know there are very strong opinions on both sides of this thing. I'm not trying to piss anyone off, nor do I run a foreign policy show. I'm going to sit here and like say, nor am I going to sit here and say, oh, I'm this foreign policy genius. I went to this elite school. I went to Harvard. Like, no, I didn't. I went to community college. And that taught, like, where I went to school, the biggest thing was tractor mechanics. That was the big program. A Kirkwood Community College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, was being a tractor mechanic. That's what you go there for, okay? That's where I come from. That's why I'm knit together. So I'm going to sit here and, like, sneer and, like, try to rattle off a bunch of fancy names and tell you I'm way smarter than Iran, Israel, or all the people doing foreign policy. I'm not. I just have it baked into my bones that these wars cost us our greatest treasure, which are our young men and women. They also cost us the treasure of our national stability by getting us trillions of dollars in debt. You can see the national debt go whoop like that when George Bush absolutely bungled, fumbled, and lied us into wars in the Mideast. So I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So I want peace, and more importantly, I don't want innocent people to die, no matter where they live. I think that's the Christian thing, in fact. Blessed are the peacemakers, they say. The scriptures, not they say. The scriptures say, Christ says. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Netanyahu saying that Iran was behind Trump's assassinations. Now, is this just Netanyahu trying to bring MAGA over to his side and to bring America into this conflict? I'm not sure, but here it is.
And by the way, our intel shows that they intend to give these nuclear weapons to their Houthi proxies and others. And that's nuclear terrorism on a global scale. It threatens everyone. And the last thing is they have plans to develop intercontinental ballistic missiles. Right now, 8,000 kilometers, very soon, just at a little distance, and they can reach the eastern seaboard of the United States. These people who chant death to America, tried to assassinate President Trump twice, killed 241 of your Marines in Beirut, killed and injured thousands of American soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq, tried to bomb a restaurant in Washington, D.C., chant death to America, burn the American flag. Do you want these people to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to your cities? Of course not.
Yeah.
So we're defending ourselves, but we're also defending the world.
I want to talk about the nuclear threat, and I want to talk about President Trump. You just said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes. Through their intel, yes. They want to kill him. Look, he's enemy number one. He's a decisive leader. He never took the path that others took to try to bargain with them in a way that is weak, giving them basically a pathway to enrich uranium, which means a pathway to the bomb, padding it with billions and billions of dollars. He took up this fake agreement and basically tore it up. He killed Qasem Soleimani. He made it very clear, including now, you cannot have a nuclear weapon, which means you cannot enrich. He's been very forceful. So for them, he's enemy number one.
Yeah.
Look, they also tried to kill me, but I'm his junior partner.
When did
they
you
understand that President Trump is a great threat to Iran's plans to weaponize nuclear weapons and use them.
When did you tell President Trump you were going to launch these strikes?
Look, I've been in constant contact with President Trump. We've known each other for many years. And obviously, we informed our American friends and President Trump, our great friend, ahead of time. We did. He knew about it, of course.
I mean, there were reports that President Trump kind of helped you achieve your strategic surprise by publicly urging you not to attack when he already knew you had decided to do it. So you were closely coordinating with the U.S. throughout this process.
Look, we're fully coordinated, but understand that America, under President Trump, will make the decisions that are best for America. And that's the way it is. He understands that I, as the Prime Minister of Israel, the one and only Jewish state, must make the decisions that are important for the survival of my country, and he will do what is best for America.
Well, you know, that final bit's a good answer. And then he says, yeah, totally, Iran launched assassination attempts on Donald Trump. I mean, listen, whatever you think of that, you can go see some of the social media that they put up. Iran has put up assassination porn on Donald Trump. Iran put up creepily this video of Donald Trump getting killed at his golf course while golfing from the weeds. So from the reeds and the hedges, there's a gunman, which in this case is in the form of a drone, but nonetheless a gunman from the weeds of President Trump's golf course, killing President Trump at Mar-a-Lago, which is almost exactly how it went down at President Trump's golf course in Palm Beach. It's freaking crazy. Iran put this video out. There was a Trump assassination plot that was allegedly foiled by the FBI from prison. An Iranian insurgent from prison was running an op here in America. We've covered those details. So anyway, this is what they've done. I mean, it's not, it's certainly not beyond comprehension. But anyway, this is what we assume it would look like at a video game, right? So if you're playing a video game, this is almost beyond comprehension. This is real life. This is in Haifa, I believe. It's a power plant that was being bombed in real life. Let's can you zoom in on this? There you go. Yep. Great. So that's the Iron Dome shooting at these ballistic missiles. And these ballistic missiles now hitting. Boom. So the Iron Dome is failing, and these ballistic missiles are getting through. We don't want war. We don't want innocent people to die. Crazy footage. There's a lot of footage like this. It looks straight out of a video game. So yeah, the Trump assassination footage of Donald Trump. The Iranian assassination footage of Donald Trump, that's video game style. This is not video game. This is real life. So anyway, we don't want people to get hurt. We don't want American troops to get dragged into this. These things, in the words of J.D. Vance, are fundamentally not our problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump predicting the future yet again. Saying yesterday that Iran and Israel will both come to the negotiating table and will now negotiate. Maybe they just had to, you take two boys out and you let them punch each other in the face a couple times, and then they hug it out, right? And they it's sometimes it's you just gotta get it out. Yeah, bonds that build. Okay, fine. I'm not sure. I don't know. Donald Trump locker room talk here. Let's go.
Can you give us a sense of what you're doing to try to de-escalate the situation between Iran and Israel?
Well, I hope there's going to be a deal. I think it's time for a deal, and we'll see what happens. But sometimes they have to fight it out. But we're going to see what happens. I think there's a good chance there'll be a deal.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, President Trump off the top rope. Exclusive breaking at time of show, 70 seconds ago. So we get to this point. 70 seconds ago, this breaks in the Wall Street Journal. Battered Iran signals it will de-escalate hostilities with Israel and negotiate. Messages passed by Tehran through intermediaries seek a return to talks as U.S. stays out of the fight. Whoa. Donald Trump, right again. Look at this. Maybe the boys just had to give each other a black eye, chip a tooth or two out back. Just had to, like, you know, throw a couple haymakers. And then they, and then you bro hug it out. I don't know. Let's read. Iran has been urgently signaling that it seeks to end hostilities and a resumption of talks over its nuclear program, sending messages to Israel and the United States via the Arab intermediaries in the Middle East. In the midst of a ferocious Israeli air campaign, Tehran has told Arab officials that they will be open to return to the negotiating table as long as the U.S. doesn't join in the attack. Fascinating. Look at that, the art of the deal. Look at the art of the deal for Donald Trump. So Donald Trump keeping America out of the attack has been the massive negotiating chit. Donald Trump has said, I'm going to make your nation rich. He says, I'm going to make your country rich. Just don't get a nuclear bomb. Don't destabilize the entire region, all the global markets and everything like that. We can't have you have a nuclear bomb. That's it. You can trade with us. Iran has like 88 million people. I didn't know Iran was such a massive country. 88 million people. Israel has like 9 million. Iran is 10 times bigger than Israel. It's a massive country. It's got a ton of, it's got so much promise, so much potential. Like, freaking unlock right now. It didn't used to be an Iranian militant backwards country. Like, frankly, if you rewind the clock back to the 1970s, and before a lot of CIA meddling, maybe we should have on Mike Benz to like talk through like what the CIA did to Iran. Okay, maybe we should talk through that. Before like a bunch of globalist meddling in Iran, it was a hell of a country. Donald Trump says, we'll make your country great again. Just don't get a nuclear bomb. That this can't be like this. This is the thing we can't allow. Okay, I dig that. I'm down with that policy. All right, fine. Iran is passing along messages to Israel, saying that in the interests of both sides, it needs to keep the violence contained. But with Israeli warplanes able to fly freely over the capital of Iranian counterattacks inflicting minimal damage, Israel's leader said they have little incentive to halt their assault before doing more to destroy Iranian nuclear sites and further weaken the theocracy's government's hold on power. Israeli strikes have killed key military leaders, pardon me, including much of the top echelon of Iran's air force, leaving Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini increasingly isolated. With the impact on nuclear facilities has been modest, analysis say they could take a long air war to get the results Israel wants, which is the decimation of their nuclear capacity. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the attacks will continue until Iran's nuclear program and ballistic missiles are destroyed. He has shown no indications that he's ready to stop. He's also said the regime change isn't the goal, but could be a result of the bombing raids and the leadership's weakness. So is this like a massive W for Donald Trump? That Iran is saying like, hey, we'll now negotiate? I think it's time for a deal, and we'll see what happens. But sometimes they have to fight it out. All right. Let me show you exactly what it looks like when, like exactly what you don't want. All right. Like what you don't want is Lindsey Graham. What you don't want is the fomenting of war. And it sickens my soul because I have a strange relation to Lindsey Graham. I took the coolest photo of Lindsey Graham ever. Hey, Alex, could you please grab it? It's a long time ago, back when I was a Capitol Hill reporter. And I saw Lindsey Graham getting attacked by a bunch of rabid feminist leftists who were frothing at the mouth. This was during the Kavanaugh hearings. And I took a video of it. It was really funny. And the video went, viral. The image went viral. And it's of Lindsey Graham straightening his tie as like a bunch of libs like scream at him. And it was called Based Lindsey Graham back in the day. And anyway, this is this is the video, and there's the photo. Yep, there it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is my history with Lindsey Graham. I'm not particularly proud of it now, given the fact that he's a warmonger. But this is the image. You may recall it back during the Kavanaugh. It's many years old. It's a still from this video, ladies and gentlemen, of Lindsey Graham walking whilst the libs scream and freak out at him. Anyway, there was a time when Lindsey Graham was holding it down for Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh is now in the Supreme Court and is a damn fine appointee, voting a lot better than Amy Coney Barrett. I can tell you that for sure. She's the real problem, not Kavanaugh. Anyway, the point is that Lindsey Graham was on all the Sunday shows talking about being a war pig and begging for America to go to war. We disavow this. We disavow it. All right, and I'm upset and angry about it because this is not what America voted for. 77 million Americans voted for America first. Trump will destroy, we cannot say it in firmer terms, Trump will destroy his legacy if he gets us into more endless wars in the Middle East. We can't let it happen. I know Trump won't do it. I know he won't do it. One of the first things Trump ever said to me in the earliest days of his presidential race was no new wars. And we need to end the Bush dynasty. This is the first words he ever said to me on camera. I think that's really old footage. I don't think we have that. But he says no new wars, and we need to end the Bush dynasty, a forever war. So I don't think Trump's going to do it. But it doesn't help to have war pig Lindsey Graham pushing this. Here we go.
The worst possible outcome for the world is for the Iranian nuclear program to survive after all this. How do you destroy their program? Through diplomacy? I prefer that, or through military action. If diplomacy is not successful and we left with the option of force, I would urge President Trump to go all in to make sure that when this operation is over, there's nothing left standing in Iran regarding their nuclear program. If that means providing bombs, provide bombs. If that means
busting bombs?
Whatever bombs. If it means flying with Israel, fly with Israel. The worst possible outcome for the world is to take the Iranian nuclear program on and leave it standing. Mm-hmm. That will be a disaster.
I disavow it. Israel can fight its own battles. Fundamentally not our problem. I know that this country deserves better. We have a map of the country in our studio. It hangs right there. And it shows you that President Trump, who won every single swing state, who won the popular vote, they said it couldn't be done, and who won in a landslide that was called on midnight. We all remember it. We were live for it with you. Those people didn't vote for more forever wars. Those people voted for mass deportations. They voted for the Marines to be deployed to Los Angeles. That's what we voted for. We want foreign insurrections in this country put down. We have enough problems in this country. Why don't you work on yourself? There's a scripture from Christ where he says, get the log out of your own eye before you look at the speck in someone else's eye. So that's our take. We have so many problems. We are experiencing a foreign invasion in this country, unlike anything that's ever happened to Israel or Iran or Ukraine. There's not 20 million Russian soldiers in Ukraine. There's 20 million foreign criminal aliens in our nation. That's a proper foreign invasion. They are burning our cities to the ground. They are flying their home country's flags while they rape and pillage and try and commit murder. Some of them are successful in murders. Some of them are just attempted murders. When you see those criminal aliens in LA throwing bricks at cop cars, that's attempted murder. They're trying to kill our military. Crazy stuff. Crazy footage. So anyway, fundamentally not our problem. Check this out. This is before we move off this topic. Look at this. Footage of an Israeli airstrike hitting Iranian state media while they're on air. Do you have the clip? All right. Well, this is just breaking. I mean, we have one more incredible piece of breaking news, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Gracious. God. Holy moly. Whoa. Well, okay. I mean, I don't want that smoke. I literally want that smoke, right? I like our studio here, Klein. I don't want that to be our thing. I would not like that in our studio, you know? Hey, listen, no, thank you. No, thank you. And the way to stay out of it is not listen to war pigs like Lindsey Graham. So please, give the American people what they voted for. No new wars, mass deportations.